Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to learn about the elif statement in Python, which helps us handle multiple conditions in a clean and readable way. We have already learned about the if and if-else statements, where we handle just one condition or two possibilities. But what if you want to check more than two options? For example, if a student scores above 90, they get an A. If it's above 75, it's a B. Above 50, it's a C. And anything below 50 is a fail. This is where the elif comes in, short for else if. It lets you chain multiple conditions one after another. Let's define it clearly. The elif statement in Python lets you check multiple conditions one after the other. Python checks each condition from top to bottom, and as soon as it finds a true, it runs that block and skips the rest. Let's now look at the syntax. If condition colon, then we write the indented code for that block. Then we write elif condition colon and another indented block for that. You can have as many elifs as you want. And finally, we can end with an optional else block for everything that didn't match earlier. Remember, Python uses indentation to know which code belongs to which block. So always use 4 spaces for indentation. Python will check each condition from top to bottom, and only one block will run the first match. This diagram shows exactly how Python processes multiple conditions using if, elif, and else. Let's walk through it step by step, just like Python would. At the top, the program starts as always. The first thing Python hits is the if condition, represented by this diamond box. This condition could be something like, is the score greater than 90, or is the user an admin? If that condition is true, Python immediately goes down the left path, executes the code inside the if block, and then skips everything else, the elif and else. It doesn't even look at them. Once the block finishes, the program continues with the rest of the script. But if the condition is false, Python follows the arrow to the right and checks the next condition, which is written using elif. That's the second diamond shape here. Now Python evaluates the elif condition. If this condition is true, it goes straight down and runs the code inside the elif block. Again, it skips the else after that. Only one block runs, whichever condition is matched first. Now, if the elif condition is also false, Python continues along the right path to the final block, the else block. This is the default block that runs when none of the conditions matched. That's the beauty of elif. You can keep checking conditions in order, and Python picks the first match only. Now let's see elif statement in an action. Let's go the PyCharm IDE and go the project. Right click on your project folder, choose new and select Python file. Let's name it elif statement demo. First, let's define the score. We type score equals 78. This means the student scored 78 out of 100. Now we want to check their grade using conditions. Let's start by checking for the top grade. Let's type if score is greater than or equal to 90 colon. This condition checks if the score is 90 or more. If this is true, we want to print grade A. So we indent and type print in double quotes grade A. Since 78 is less than 90, this block will be skipped. Now we add another condition to check if the score is 78 or above. Let's type elif score is greater than or equal to 75 colon. This checks if the student qualifies for grade B, and since our score is 78, this condition is true. Now we indent and type print in double quotes grade B. That line will run, and we'll see grade B as the output. Let's move on. Even though we have more conditions below, they won't be checked because Python already found a match. But let's write them anyway to complete the grading logic. Next we type elif score is greater than or equal to 50 colon. This is for students who score between 50 and 74. If true, we type print in double quotes grade C period. But remember, in our case, this won't run because 78 already matched the previous condition. Finally, we write the fallback in case none of the above conditions are true. We type else colon, then indent and type print in double quotes fail. Now let's run the program. You will see the output grade B because 78 is greater than or equal to 75. So that's the condition Python picks. Let's change the score to 45 and run it again. Now the output will say fail because none of the if or elif conditions matched. So Python runs the else block. Let's recap. The if checks the first condition, elif lets us add more conditions, and else handles everything else. Python picks the first true condition and skips the rest. Let's see one more example that shows a custom welcome message based on the user's role, like admin, editor, or viewer. We'll use the if, elif, and else statements to handle the logic. First, we define the role of the user. We type role equals inside double quotes admin. Now we'll check the user's role and show a message based on that. Let's write our first condition. We type if role double equals inside double quotes admin colon. Then on the indented line we type print inside double quotes welcome admin. This condition checks whether the user's role is admin. If true, Python prints welcome admin. Now let's add another condition. In case the role is editor, we type elif role double equals inside double quotes editor colon. Then we indent and type print inside double quotes welcome editor. This will only run if the role is exactly editor. Now let's check for another valid role, viewer. We type elif role double equals inside double quotes viewer colon. Then we indent and type print inside double quotes welcome viewer. Finally, let's write the ls block, which will run when the role doesn't match any known type. We type else colon, then indent and type print inside double quotes unknown role. Let's now run the program. Since we set role to admin, the output will be welcome admin. Now let's change the role to editor and run it again. Python prints welcome editor. Try viewer and the output will be welcome viewer. And if we set role to something like guest, the else block runs and we'll see unknown role. So this is how we handle multiple conditions using if, elif, and else. Only one block will execute the first condition that matches. Here's what we learned in this lecture. The elif statement allows you to check multiple conditions in a structured way. Python evaluates them one by one from top to bottom. Only the first matching conditions block is executed. We use if followed by one or more elif and end with an optional else. Proper indentation is required under each block. That's it for this one. In the next lecture, we'll explore nested if statements and how to use conditions inside conditions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.